Hello, it's Maureen Legas here with your 21 Days 2018 series, and today is day 15. So today we are going to talk a little bit about business planning, and we use the GPS business plan worksheet. The G stands for goal, the P for priority, and the S for strategies to achieve that priority. So as we're planning for the next year, we want to figure out what is our goal. So let's take a sample goal that we want to reach $100,000 in gross commission with 24 real estate transactions. So how do we break that down? So the first priority might be to increase our database to be able to handle the 24 transactions. So what do I mean by that? Well, all of the METs in your database, when you are in touch with them on a regular basis and they know and love you, you can expect about a 10% return from that database. So if you're looking for 24 transactions, a 10% return would mean you would need about 240 people in your database. Well, let's say that you do not have 240 people in your database. How are you going to get there? And those would be your strategies. So let's say your database contains 144 people. That means you need 96 more people to reach 240 to give your goal of 24 transactions from your database. So let's talk about the strategies that will achieve those 96 additional people you need in your database to help you get towards your 24 transactions. So let's say the first strategy would be to visit 2 for sale by owner properties per month. That would give you 24 people that you would have met towards that 96 goal. So strategy 1, visit 2 for sale by owners per month. Statistically, it takes about 12 for sale by owners in your pipeline to achieve 1 for sell by owner contract. All right, strategy 2. So now we have 24. Strategy 2. So let's say you join a networking group in town where you're the only agent in that group, and let's say you can count on 1 referral from the networking group per week. So that on a 48-week year, we take a couple weeks off during the year, and we don't work some of the holidays. So let's say we're working 48 weeks in a year. So 1 referral from your networking group, that would give you an additional 48. So now we have 24 and 48 going towards the 96. Let's say the third strategy would be to volunteer in school once a month, and you meet someone new, so you add 1 person a month from the school volunteering to your database. That's an additional 12. So let's say our fourth strategy would be maybe running social media posts and ads, and people that are commenting on those, that you then can form some kind of a communication agreement with them that eventually gets them in the car, and you're helping them with their real estate needs. So the fourth would be to run social media ads or posts in order to get in connection with people you don't know to get them in the car. Now, people you don't know, they convert at a different rate. It's about 50 to 1. So for every 50 people you don't know in your database, you might expect 1 transaction. So we're not going to be as generous with what we expect to get from social media. So let's say with all the social media work that you're doing, you can add 6 METs to your database in a year. Okay, now we're at 90 total. Where do we get the last 6? Well, let's say we're running website posts. We're doing pay-per-click or something on our website. Again, that's a 50 to 1 conversion, so we don't expect a lot. So let's say we get our last 6 from website registrations that eventually turn into people in our car. So now we have those 96 additional METs to reach our number 1 priority of adding those additional METs to our database, so that when we communicate with them in a systematic way, we're achieving that 10% return. Okay, so that's our first priority, getting our database to 240. So what would we have as a second priority for hitting our goal of 24 transactions and 100,000? So let's say our second priority might be systematically communicating with our database. So a strategy might be, first strategy might be to have an ice cream social that you put on for your Met database and invite them to the ice cream social, and you're keeping in touch with them there. Let's say you're going to do one ice cream social per year in the summer and invite your database. Let's say the second strategy might be have a Thanksgiving event in the end of the year, and maybe give each of your clients a Thanksgiving pie. You'd be thanking them for their loyalty, and that would be another communication touch where you want to communicate systematically. Let's say the third would be contacting everyone in your database one time a quarter. And you might use strategies we learned earlier. Let me see, I believe that was in session, I don't know here, session number 2 or 3, where we talked about how do we break up the database. But let's say you systematically keep in touch with everyone in your database once a quarter. Let's say that you are making sure you're keeping in touch with your database on social media and congratulating them on things that they're posting that are wins for them. And then finally, the fifth strategy could be sending a handwritten note once a quarter to your Met database, just giving them some information, maybe some item of value. And then you now have achieved your second priority, which is systematically keeping in touch with your client database. And now we're at the third priority. So let's say your third priority is to increase the price point of your transactions. Maybe your transactions have been at a lower price point. You want to move towards a higher price point to reach your GCI goal with 24 transactions. So let's say the first strategy would be to make social media posts towards those that you would want to work with. So you could go to your website and do a property search like you were the client that you would like to work with in the price point you're trying to achieve, and then take the link from that property search over to social media and say, check out these great homes in whatever area you're looking to work in, whatever that looks like, that you create a post that would attract the people in the price point that you're looking for. Let's say another strategy would be to look at homes in the area that you're interested in or in the price point you're interested in that are listed by other agents in your office. And you can ask permission to hold those homes open, run open houses there. And that would bring in potential new buyers in that price point that would be able to be added to your database. So that would be the second strategy to achieve that priority. So a third strategy might be looking at the recent expireds in the MLS in the price point that you're interested in and reaching out and contacting those people to see if they would be interested in listing with you, so that you would have that price point listed and attract the buyers to that price point that might contact you directly. A fourth strategy might be to join a group or volunteer with people in a certain area that you're looking to move into, and then get to know those people, and they get to know your value, and you become a resource for them as well. And then a fifth strategy might be door knocking in areas that you would like to target with items of value, information about the sales in their neighborhood and what's going on. So that's how we put together this 135. And once we have the 135, which is what we need to do, now we put together the 411, which tells us how to do it. So on a 411, we're going to see 1 annual goal, 1 monthly goal, and 4 weekly goals. And so we look at our GPS and we know that we want to achieve $100,000 in our business. So 100,000 is our annual goal for our business. The monthly goal is we take that 100,000 and we divide that by 12, which tells us that our monthly business goal would be to achieve about $8,300 in gross commission. And now we take that further and divide it into our weekly goal, and our weekly goals would be about $2,100 in gross commission per the week. And then we look at the other pieces of it. From our database, we wanted to increase our database by 96 people for the year. So we break that down. We look at some of the other items that are on our 135, and what we're doing is we're breaking it down so we see what we need to do for the year, which is defined on that 135. How does that break down in the month? And then we break down by the week. But you only do 1 week at a time, because if there's anything that you left or did not accomplish in the first week, it rolls over to the second week. So that's kind of a quick overview of business planning for the next year. So make sure that you are looking at your business plan, determining what you need to do, and then how you need to do that. All right, I hope you have a great day.